And let's go to another quickie of the week. Let's get started. News number one, details from the Avengers Doomsday script, more set leaks, alleged deaths, and an emotional ending. Is it really Dr. Doom who's going to cause the incursions? What do you think? Leave your comment below. News number two, confirmed. The Russo brothers will reboot the MCU in Secret Wars. Are you excited about this phase finale, even though this phase wasn't as thrilling as the previous ones? Do you think Marvel is returning to its golden age to making good movies again? Leave your comment below. News number three, updates from the new Superman universe, the new DCU. Leaked photos from the Supergirl set reveal the character's costume. Are you excited about this new beginning, directed and organized by James Gunn? Leave your comment below. Remember, if you're already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and give that trust like, leave a comment, and share this video. And if this is your first time here, just watch for a bit. You don't need to do anything right now. Watch for a while. And if you like the channel, subscribe and hit the like button. So let's get straight to the news. Let's go.
Well, did you think the multiverse was going to stay peaceful? Well, here I am, Victor Von Doomsday, to tell you how I'm going to stir things up in Avengers, the Final Judgment. I warn you, there's destruction, there's conquest, and of course, there's me shining brighter than ever. To give you a taste, I can tell you that the ending will be so explosive that even Thanos will seem amateur compared to what I'm preparing. Someone captured a mysterious scene and set the internet ablaze. But hold your excitement because I'm going to reveal what's going on. Get ready because the clues are worthy of a movie like The Prestige. I'll explain everything if you survive until the end of the video. Before I move forward dominating the YouTube algorithm, let me do that embarrassing thing. Ask for subscriptions and likes. I know it's humiliating for a god emperor like me, but let's be honest, if I don't ask, you'll leave here as if nothing happened. Please click like and subscribe, or I'll invade your universe and turn your house into the new Latveria Express. And I warn you, medieval castle decor doesn't match your living room. Now, seriously, Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America, decided to spill the beans and confirm that he read the script for Avengers Doomsday. Apparently, he already deserves the title of the new spoiler man of the MCU. The movie will follow the same formula that worked in Infinity War and Endgame, leaving everyone desperate, with an ending like an abyss, bottomless. But now forget about half the people disappearing. The entire multiverse is going to be wiped out. And guess who will be left to reign over the chaos? That's right, it's me. Concept art has emerged, showing the glorious god, Emperor Doomsday on the throne, with Doctor Strange and company as my loyal followers. It could just be a concept, or it could be exactly what will happen. If you're already breaking out in a cold sweat, relax. Marvel is preparing something even bigger for the sequel, Secret Wars. The destruction will be epic. Look at that. While other Marvel actors could barely see their own lines in Infinity War and Endgame because they always accidentally leaked spoilers, Anthony Mack had access to the entire script of Doomsday. That's right. The man practically became a walking open book. If you think this won't lead to more leaks, just wait. The Russo brothers, who have already proven they know how to destroy emotional lives better than I destroy universes, decided to film Avengers, The Final Judgment, and Secret Wars in sequence. As if that weren't enough, they are filming in super secret locations to avoid any leaks. But honestly, when a being like me is involved, secrecy is just a comfortable illusion. Want a direct comparison? When Thanos snapped his fingers, he erased half of a single universe. Now, imagine that raised to the 10th power. All the universes of the multiverse going down the drain. Thanos' snap compared to what's coming seems like a childhood playground fight. The carnage will be so absolute that even tears will evaporate. If there's still any doubt about my magnificence, know that even concept arts have leaked. There I am on my throne of glory, flanked by none other than Sheriff Strange, Sue Storm, and Franklin Richards. Criminalized, judged, or just decorating my realm. Depends on my mood. If these arts become reality in the movie, let's pretend to be surprised. In the comics, Battleworld is not just an add-on. It is the brutal collage of about 40 universes, And now, in my cinematic empire, this inspiration is more alive than ever. A new world is born from the death of many, a mosaic of ruin, governed by the only worthy one, mine. Anthony Mack even let slip that the ending of Avengers Doomsday doesn't close the story. It opens the doors to a new era for the MCU, a rebirth of epic proportions where Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and any being with superpowers will coexist. Of course, all of this under my benevolent and slightly tyrannical supervision. Now, what you all love, let's talk about set leaks. There's already a leak circulating. The profile unbox.phd released footage showing a mysterious guy from behind wearing a suit and hat knocking on a house door. It's clear that it's not me in my glorious Doom outfit, but the speculation has begun. Some say it could be Loki, making a pass through the realities he now oversees. Others think it's my alter ego, Victor Von Doom, in a college flashback, perhaps before acquiring my armor. And there are still those who believe it's Doctor Strange investigating some incursion. The confusion is such that it feels like a mystery scene in the Mediterranean. The profile also revealed an official image from the production, a chair, with my name, Victor Von Doom, in front of an elegant wooden panel. This further increased the suspicion that the film might start within the X-Men universe, directly linking with the post-credits scene of The Marvels, where Monica Rambeau discovers she is in another universe. If I am the Doom of this universe, the damage will be epic. More theories emerged. Some bet that this man is just an extra, perhaps a government agent or even a doctor making a house call. It's hilarious to imagine an ordinary Doom carrying a family doctor's briefcase. And there were even those who swore it was a student moving into a university dormitory. It's looking more like the Breakfast Club instead of Avengers. And it didn't stop there. Another video appeared, filmed in a forest, full of tents and torches. People started saying it would be Latveria, my homeland. Others swore it was a recreation of old X-Men movie sets. It was looking like the end of X-Men, the last stand. But as Daniel Richmond confirmed, this set is actually from The Witcher. That's right, people confused a medieval forest with a Marvel production. I swear even I couldn't come up with such a clumsy strategy. Regarding the filming in the garden with craters, some people are saying it's the destroyed X-Men mansion. The statues, the boulevard, the airplane turbine, everything points to the Blackbird and Xavier's school. It could be that the movie opens with the Incursion invading the mutant universe. If it is, my triumphant entrance will be Oscar-worthy. Now comes the delightful part. Even with all these images and rumors, nothing has been officially denied. And if there's one thing I, Doom, respect, it's a well-done leak. The unboxed PhD profile has been right several times before, including on the Fantastic Four sets. When they speak, I listen. Of course, it's good to remember that these scenes could be from any part of the movie. The first filming doesn't necessarily mean it's the beginning of the story. It could be from the middle, the end, or a flashback. The script is still being adjusted, and not everything has been filmed yet. They're only shooting what they're sure will be included. Now it's up to you. Who do you think that mysterious figure is? Victor Von Doom? Loki? Doctor Strange? A lost extra looking for the cafeteria? Leave your theory in the comments because the multiverse is too chaotic for us to figure out alone. And of course, before wrapping up, here's a reminder. If you haven't left your like, subscription, and comment yet, I, Dr. Doomfire, will invade your fridge and turn all your beer into warm almond milk. Do not test my multiversal patience. In the next saga, either you're with me or you're on the hit list.
All right, folks, let's dive into this news that's causing quite a stir. Confirmed, the Russo brothers are going to reboot the MCU with Secret Wars. That's quite a change, isn't it?
Really unexpected, right?
Yeah, this decision comes from a bold strategy by the Russos. They basically intend to reboot the cinematic universe, bringing that fresh start vibe with Secret Wars, which is one of the narratives most intriguing from the comics.
Of course. And you know, right? This reboot could change the entire direction the MCU was taking. But how exactly do they plan to balance the new with what has already been built so far?
Look, like they're betting on a grand reinterpretation. Instead of just continuing the same line, the Russians want to do a reset that allows not only connecting previous stories, but also creating new narratives.
Interesting. So the idea is to unite the old paths with the new beginning, right?
Exactly. It's as if they are taking the mess that the MCU was building and reorganizing everything to fit that missing piece for Secret Wars. It's a restart, but with a firm foot in the legacy.
But wait, don't you think it's a bit risky? I mean, this universe has already won over so many audiences. Restarting in such a radical way might alienate some old fans.
Yes, it's a valid concern, indeed. But look, the idea seems to be to bring something new and dynamic. Something that sparks the interest of both longtime fans and new ones. The Russians, with all their experience, know how to balance this equilibrium. Or at least, that's what the expectation suggests.
I understand. And this news didn't come from just anywhere, right? It's circulating through a YouTube video with all that standard interface. It has the about press, copyrights, and so on. An indication that it might be a well-crafted production.
Absolutely. These YouTube details, like contact us, content creators, advertising, suggest that it's an official release, or at least an announcement, intended to make an impact, even in the digital age.
Yes. And speaking of impact, did you see how alarming this title is? Confirmed. At the beginning, which already puts our curiosity through the roof.
Exactly. It's designed to grab people's attention. It's almost like, look, something big is about to happen. And it's not just about the idea of a reboot, but the narrative potential of Secret Wars. Just imagine, various characters and universes clashing, plot twists. And that feeling that everything built up until now is about to be reinterpreted.
Really intriguing. Speaking of Secret Wars, do you think this reboot approach might follow the comics path where multiple realities collide?
Exactly. That's the key point. It's like a narrative reset, but without losing the essence of each story. Like, imagine various timelines reorganizing. It's like when you try to tidy up the mess in your closet and, at the same time, discover forgotten pieces that tell stories of your life.
I get the analogy. Quite curious, right? But explain to me, how do the Russians fit into this reboot? They weren't involved anymore after Avengers Endgame.
Oh, they were indeed. And this return is kind of an upside down on our expectations. After having completed that phase, now they are going to bring new foundations to the Marvel Universe. We already see hints from behind the scenes, and it seems that the plans are grandiose.
Makes sense. And this reboot, besides enhancing the narrative, can also open doors for alternative stories, right? Like exploring characters that were previously in the shadows.
Certainly. It's an opportunity to showcase some unprecedented scripts. It may be that some heroes and villains have their roles expanded or completely change functions. Like this. The MCU can reinvent itself in a way that surprises even those who have been following it for years.
Yes, and it's that surprise that captivates, isn't it? Exactly. But, I still have a doubt. Could this strategy dilute the identity that we love so much in the MCU? Or will it strengthen it?
That's a pertinent question. It is indeed a risk. Because changing something that is already so established can confuse the audience. But it's also a chance to do something innovative. If the Russos can maintain the balance, right, the reboot won't erase the legacy, but rather expand it.
Interesting, but I have to say, there are those who criticize this approach, thinking it's a kind of commercial maneuver to attract new viewers. Don't you think this criticism has its weight?
Of course. Some argue that it's a marketing strategy, but I also believe that in a project of this magnitude, there's always a mix of artistic vision with the need for commercial renewal. It may seem a bit forced to some, but the Russians always deliver quality in what they do.
I see. And still, there's this whole issue of the technology for dissemination. The fact that the announcement is on YouTube with all those NFL resources, Sunday Ticket C 2025, Google, LLC, and so on shows that it's not just news, but a reflection of this new way of consuming content today, isn't it?
No doubt, it's a demonstration of how modern communication works. The platform not only informs, but also engages and drives discussion. It's as if the announcement already has a layer of interactivity, since you can follow comments, reactions in real time, etc.
That makes me think. This move by the Russians might be opening up space for other cinematic universes to also rethink their narratives. Is Marvel setting a new standard?
It's a possibility, yes. If this model is successful, we might see more and more studios adopting a planned reboot approach, where the legacy is preserved, but there's room for innovations.
But, going back to the MCU, do you believe that Secret Wars will become this crucial turning point for the entire saga?
I have a feeling that it will. It's a milestone that fans have been anticipating for a long time. The idea of bringing together different realities and characters in a single epic event has immense appeal. It could be the catalyst that redefines the next Marvel stories.
It really is grand. And adding to that, we can't ignore the nostalgia factor. Many fans will remember the early days of the MCU and the passion with which they followed each phase.
Exactly. The nostalgia. It weighs heavily in this balance. The Russos know how to use this sentimental connection while making room for new characters and storylines. It's a risky game, but if done well, it can be phenomenal.
Of course, and we can't forget the digital technical aspect either. The way this news is disseminated already shows an intelligent use of digital platforms, which helps build the hype even before the release.
That's right. The integration with social media, the use of essential videos, and even the details of copyright, all of this shows how Marvel and the Russos are in tune with modern times. It's almost like combining a blockbuster with a sharp digital strategy.
Yes, no doubt. Now, looking at the big picture, do you think this could reopen wounds regarding previous MCU decisions? Like, some people were unfavorable towards certain phases of the saga?
Well, it's possible. Every reboot carries with it the chance to revisit past choices. But if the Russos can channel this energy of reformation, we might witness an evolution that transcends what was done before. A fresh start, but with accumulated learnings.
Interesting that you mentioned the learnings. After all, Marvel has always reinvented itself to some degree.
Exactly. And the idea of Secret Wars fits well into this creative process. It could be a phase where the MCU shows itself to be even more resilient and innovative, blending the best of the past and present.
Yes, a kind of maturation indeed. And of course, this reboot is not just about the storyline. It's also about cultural impact and the way we tell stories in cinema today.
Right. The MCU's narrative has always been rich in cultural references and metaphors. With Secret Wars, the aim is to broaden this global connection, bringing in new fans and strengthening the legacy among those who have been following for so long.
Very well put. Look, this conversation really got me excited about the future of the MCU. We just have to wait and see how everything will unfold in this new phase.
Undoubtedly. We'll keep an eye on it, because if the Russians get this journey right, the MCU will certainly write one of the most intriguing chapters in cinema history.
Yes, definitely.
You're not ready for this revelation, but that's okay. I'll give you a preview. I was caught on set in a new uniform and everything. Yes, it's me, Kara Zor-El, Superman's favorite cousin. The photos leaked earlier than expected. And I'm here officially to show everything and tell you what you haven't seen yet. And look, the suit turned out nice, okay? It has a skirt, the classic symbol, and the weight of carrying the DC universe on the shoulders. Literally. Because apparently now I have to face tanks on the ground. Alien ground. By the way, if you were on another planet and are wondering who the lucky one chosen to play me is, her name is Gillespie Alcock. You might know her from her role in House of the Dragon, where she shone so brightly that, even with the production needing to change actresses due to the time jump, people begged. Keep her. Age her digitally. But keep her. I would say that's quite a seal of popular approval. If she won over the Dragon fans, imagine now, with a cape on her shoulders. By the way, since I'm here exposing myself with photos taken by a 1995 drone or a Nokia brick with a VGA camera, I make an appeal. If you don't subscribe to the channel and leave a like, I swear I'll show up at your house at 3 in the morning, flying. And I'll burn your router with my heat vision. Then you'll be without internet for days until you can schedule with the service provider's technician. And you know that's the real hell. I hate asking, I really do. But if I don't ask, no one moves. Like, comment, and activate the bell. Because honestly, saving the world is hard work and I need to see results, even if it's just in the algorithms. About the uniform, yes, it has a skirt. I really thought they were going to follow the style of Sasha Kali's outfit in The Flash. That more modern one, with pants, highly praised, even by me. I thought this new phase called for a more practical, more sober look. But they decided to go the traditional route. They gave me a truly classic look. What can you do? Kryptonian tradition still holds sway around here. But look, the design turned out beautiful, you know? And it goes really well with the new look of Superman played by David Corn Sweat, the symbol of the House of El. It's there on the chest with the same shape he used. You can already tell from afar that we're from the same lineage, the same interplanetary conflict. It's as if the costumes are shouting, these two are going to carry the DCU on their shoulders. And about that yellow stripe on the suit, no, it's not mine. Kryptonian six-pack abs. Some thought I was showing off a little belly, 2025 version, but no. That's just a belt, a beautiful golden belt, functional, define, elegant, and approved by the Department of Stylish Heroines. And look, I even got a tan for this phase, but the skin tone doesn't match. It's really an accessory, not abs. And the set? A spectacle. No distant planets with absurd technology, at least for now. The images show tanks that are somewhat retro, somewhat Fallout, pre-apocalypse. They told me they were aliens, but if they are, the aliens clearly buy equipment at Earth's military auctions. Even so, I'm preparing for one of those scenes. Coming from the sky, tearing through steel with my hand, showing that yes, this girl is not here to play. Speaking of behind the scenes, I heard that Craig Gillespie is directing. Yes, the same director of Lars and the Real Girl. That cute and weird movie at the same time. I'm curious to know what he's going to do with me. If he managed to make a guy fall in love with an inflatable doll with a soul, imagine what he'll do with a real Kryptonian. Something good is coming. Or at least something different. And about the story, they say I'm going to make a surprise appearance in the Superman movie before my solo. But hey, a real surprise would be if they gave me 5 minutes of screen time and let me truly fly. Jason Momoa as Lobo. Yes, he will appear, but not in my movie. In my feature, he'll have to share the spotlight with me. Good luck, Aquaboy. If you also think I deserve more spotlight than a quick cameo, comment there or praise me for the uniform. Or just comment that the photo looks like it was taken by a supermarket security camera, because, let's be honest, the quality is rough. By the way, speaking of quality, can someone explain to me why the first images look like they were taken with a 2002 Razor? There are so many pixels per square centimeter that if the suit had a tear, no one would notice. But even with this 8-bit vibe, you can see that the symbol of the House of El is firmly there on the chest. And for those who don't know, this is the same insignia used by Superman from the DCU. In other words, they've already made it clear that we're in the same universe, same style, same issues to resolve. And to wrap up, a behind-the-scenes detail. The tank scene, which will probably be my grand entrance, wasn't chosen by chance. Every superhero debut in cinema needs the classic "take this power in your face" sequence. In my case, it will be with a tank exploding, a dramatic pose, and wind in the cape. After all, as my therapist says, if you're going to make an impression, do it by breaking steel. Now I'm going to fly a bit because this text has already gotten too long. But before I leave, I'll leave you a message. If you don't like this video, I'll assume you work for Lex Luthor. And if you make any bad jokes about my skirt, you can expect me to show up flying at your window just to return the sarcasm. See you at the movies.